Hello everyone. It's been a long time since my last video. I was quite busy. Anyways, for this video, I'll be showing you how to cross-pollinate. So right now, I was lucky enough to have two caladiums produce inflorescence, or what others call as a flower. So this is the first caladium. You can see the pattern. It's quite pretty. The leaves are elongated, not the usual round heart shape, and it's thicker. The leaves are thicker than usual. Okay, and this is the inflorescence. You can see that some of the pollen have already gone down there to this part, the female part. There, you'll see that is via natural pollination. It didn't have my help. So the other pollen of the inflorescence are here, and there you can see it. We will use that. All right. So the second inflorescence is this one. You can see the pollen, it's still there. Okay, and this is how that caladium looks like. There you can see it's also pretty, also beautiful. And this one has thick leaves as well, but not as thick as the other one, and it's round heart shaped. All right, there, and you can see the pattern, okay, of the leaves. There you go. This is a young leaf, that's why it's still white, but once it gets exposed to sunlight, it will turn like this. All right. Okay, so here we go. I usually use a brush, a paintbrush. Any paintbrush will do for this, but for now, I'm going to use my finger to collect the pollen and transfer it to the male part. All right. So we will go with this first since it's already exposed. Okay, so now this is a raw video. I won't be able to edit this one, so I'll be posting this as is because I don't have time to edit. Alright, so here we will carefully make sure your hands and fingers are clean so that there will be no other foreign element included. Okay, so now we will collect the pollen carefully, like so. Okay, so you see that? That's a lot, right? All right, so now we will be putting it here. Okay, oops. Okay, my bad. It fell. Okay, no worries. We have a lot. So we will collect again. Hopefully this time I won't mess up. Okay, collect, and then pollinate, like so. Okay, this time I'll be careful, like that. Okay, don't try to rub it. Don't try to spread it around because sometimes it damages the pollen and you won't produce any seeds. All right, so here let's collect it again. Okay, and then let's only got a few. That's okay, no problem. All right, and then let's put it here. Okay, just press the pollen gently. That's all you need to do. All right, so now We will collect some of these pollen here. This is the pollen of this caladium. So collect some, just to make sure. Sometimes I cross-pollinate at the same time. I also just self-pollinate it. So I'll have two sets of seeds, or maybe it will produce something really beautiful because you've mixed them. Okay, so now let's go to this one. All right. Okay, there you go. Okay, so now, actually earlier this morning, before I went to work, I've already transferred or pollinated this one with some of the pollens here. Pollen, sorry. Pollen is already plural. Sorry about that. A little grammar lesson there. All right. Okay, so here you can see that's a lot, right? Okay, focus, please. Focus. Okay, it won't focus. Anyway, that's a lot of pollen there. So now we will put it here like so. Just tap gently. Okay. Okay, and then collect some of these, and again tap, pollinate it. Okay, tap it here. There we go. And again, tap some of it here. Since you still have a lot, you can just tap it there. Okay. Tap. You don't need to. Okay. Sorry about that. There's a delivery. But it's in our it's for our neighbor. Okay. Alright, so now I'm collecting some of these, the last ones, because actually you can keep the pollen, wrap it in aluminum foil, sorry about that, aluminum foil, and then put it in a Ziploc and put it in the freezer. And you can use it on your next pollination, but, okay, there's a caveat there. There's no assurance that all of the pollen that you have collected and stored in the freezer is still viable by the time you use it, okay? So don't come after me. Okay, so just a simple reminder there. You may preserve the pollen. It's good. You can keep it in the freezer for up to 30 days. But there's no assurance. Again, a caveat, right, guys? Caveat. There's no assurance that it'll be good. It would still be viable. Maybe there are some, but yeah, and it won't produce good seeds most of the time because I've tried it. Right, that's based on experience, guys. All right, so there we have already pollinated both inflorescence or flower, as others call it. Okay, so what do I do after this? Usually, I wrap it. Okay, some of you may ask, why is the other inflorescence, sorry, this one already dark? Because this one released its pollen earlier than the other one. This one released its pollen last night. So this morning it started falling off, spreading here on the female part, right? So once the pollen is gone, usually this part here, it dries up and it darkens because there's no more pollen. All right. Okay, so there. Okay. So what do I do? Usually after this, I wrap it with um, a piece of shading cloth. It's an old shade cloth, right? Nothing fancy, uh, nothing expensive. It's just an old shade cloth. Tore it up and got a piece of it, and now I'm using it to wrap this one. Now, why do we wrap it? Uh, it's just a protection. Nothing, so it won't this so that it won't get disturbed or eaten by pests. So it's just a protection from elements, right? You may opt to cover it or not, depending on if you're going to put this inside a greenhouse, then most probably you don't need to cover it up with a shade cloth. Okay. So just it's just a simple protection. But if it's going to be outside like mine right now, you're outside. I don't have a greenhouse. Okay. Others call it a vacuum, but actually it's not a vacuum. It's a greenhouse. It's a makeshift greenhouse. There's a wrong um, idea that it's called a vacuum, but it's not. All right. So there, it's covered for to protect it. And this one, we will do the same. We will cover it for protection. No other reason, but just to protect it so that it won't get disturbed by external elements. All right. So here. Okay. So you might ask how long before it gets pregnant and seeds are produced. Well, based on my experience, it takes about 3 weeks to a month. Right? You can check if it's already pregnant or bloated. Usually, you'll see that. You can check in my other two videos. It's there. Once it starts getting to look like that, the ones in my other two videos, my other video rather, not the other one is also pollination, but it's self pollination. In my second video, once it starts to look like that, it bloats and you will see that it starts to produce pods or seed bags. Then it's ready to get harvested. All right, so there. So again, based on my experience, of course, others may say, no, it does not take 3 weeks, it takes more than that. So I'm just saying this based on my experience, okay? Again, my experience. It takes about 3 weeks to a month before it starts to produce seeds or it gets pregnant, so to speak. So all we have left is a waiting game. So there you are. So if it produces seeds, then I'll make another video on it. Okay, so again, this is the first caladium. Very pretty. Elongated leaves. It's a long boy. Well, not long, not too long, but there. So it has waves. It's yeah, very pretty. Thick leaves, long ones, right? And then this one is also very pretty, gorgeous also. It's the usual shape, round, heart shaped. All right, so we've cross-pollinated them, and at the same time, I also used the same pollen for them. I mean, for this one and this one also. So there you go. Okay, so waiting game. If it produces seeds, I'll make another video if it's going to be successful, because you see, not all pollination or cross-pollination are successful. Sometimes you fail. That's just nature. Sometimes they just don't like it. All right, so you cannot force them. So there you go. Oh, Okay, hopefully it produces seeds. So you can see once I harvest them, and then we can start planting them, and maybe I can start selling them. All right, so okay, there. So I hope you like this video. I hope you learned something from it. All right, and I was supposed to say something, but I forgot, and I don't think it's a good thing to think about it because it would take too long. All right, this. Oh, okay. Here, pollen. The pollen of the inflorescence usually comes out in the evening. Um, I haven't researched on it why it comes out in the evening, but usually it does. It usually comes out in the evening during that time in the evening. So if you want to collect pollen, you have to really wait for it and stay up. Sometimes it comes out late, 11 p.m., 12 midnight, it depends. Sometimes it comes out early in the evening, like 7, 8 p.m. But if you want the full blast of it, the full bloom of it, you have to wait until around 11 p.m., 12 midnight, so you can harvest all of them, and it will produce a lot of pollen. Because based on my experience, again, sometimes if you get too excited, you see that they start releasing pollen like around early in the evening, and they start releasing a few pollen and you start collecting it. They will not release the full boom, I mean the full thing, the whole shebang of pollen. Alright, for some reason, I don't know why. So anyways, again, I hope you learned something from this video. Let's wait for it, and I'll make a new video if it's going to be successful. All right, okay, thanks guys, bye.